Can you hear me there at the jail? Good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning. My name is just Christy Ruppe. You're all here this morning for first appearance. The purpose of this hearing is to inform you of the charges against you and determine whether there is probable cause for your arrest. Probable cause only means that it's more likely than not that you committed the crime in which you've been arrested for. As you stand before me today, you are considered not guilty of what you've been charged with. That status will remain with you through each stage of this proceeding until proven differently by the State Attorney's Office beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. In all likelihood, you were arrested on a new charge or a warrant. Either way, you were given a bond pursuant to the bond schedule for the 5th Judicial Circuit. I will determine whether to keep that bond the same, increase it, decrease it, or whether there are any other conditions of pre-trial release which will be imposed upon you. You are entitled to have an attorney represent you at each stage of these proceedings. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, I will appoint an attorney to represent you this morning. You are also entitled to make a phone call to let friends, family, or your counsel know where you are. If you haven't had the opportunity to make that phone call yet, please let me know. I'll make sure that happens today. Finally, and most importantly, you have the right to remain silent, and I encourage you to do so. These hearings are recorded, and there is an assistant state attorney in this courtroom writing down everything that you say. So anything you say about the facts of your case can and will be held against you in the prosecution of your case down the road. At this time, I'd like everyone to raise your right hand so I can place you under oath. Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony before the court this morning will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay, go ahead and put your hands down. As I call your name, please come forward to the podium. Shanda Merchant. Good morning, Ms. Merchant. Can I have your date of birth?
12/9/88.
All right, you were here this morning for a driving on suspended driver's license, ensuring that your driver's license is suspended because you failed to get the proper insurance on your vehicle. They do find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? You're going to hire an attorney, or do you want the public defender's office?
Case public defender.
A provision for the public defender's office to represent you. State, does she have a prior record?
Judge, I don't see any priors on it. She wants to, if the court's inclined to resolve it.
All right. Well, ma'am, what we're going to do is I'm going to release you on your own recognizance today. I'm going to see you back to court on January 31st, and it would go greatly in your favor if you go out and fix that driver's license issue and come back to court on that day with a valid driver's license, okay? You'll be able to qualify for what's called a clerk withhold, and you can resolve your case that day if you can get that taken care of. So we'll release you ROR. We'll see you back January 31st.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I understand you're here behind the counsel,
sorry.
right?
I'm sorry.
I'll get to you in a minute. I need to do these, get the women out first. Miranda Robinson. Ms. Robinson, can I have your date of birth?
08/29/92.
You are here this morning for two cases. The first one is a possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting an officer without violence. The bonds of $2,000, $1,000, $1,000. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? You're going to hire an attorney, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
A provision for the public defender's office to represent you on each of these cases. The other case is of introduction to contraband into the jail facility, a possession of methamphetamine, and a possession of drug paraphernalia. I did also find probable cause for those. State, does she have a prior record?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. On the first case, the possession of methamphetamine, I'm going to keep the bond at $2,000. For the possession of drug paraphernalia, I'm going to set it at $500. And resisting an officer without violence is going to be $500. Those cases are going to come back to court on February 6th at 9 o'clock. On the second case of introduction of contraband into the jail facility, I'm going to set the bond at $4,000. The possession of methamphetamine is going to be $1,000. And the possession of drug paraphernalia is $1,000. I'm going to see you back to court on all of these cases on February 6th at 9 a.m. Andrea Springrosh.
Springstrow.
Thank you. What is your date of birth?
March 16th, 1989.
You are here this morning for resisting an officer with violence, resisting an officer without violence. I did find probable cause for both of those. Do you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
A provision for the public defender's office to represent you. State?
None, Your Honor.
Okay. Ma'am, I have an address for you on Linden Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
No.
Where do you
That
live?
was my grandma's house. 13155 Haver Hill Road.
Clover Hill Road? I didn't hear. 13155 what?
Haver Hill Drive.
Haver Hill Drive? Okay.
Haverhill. 131.
And that's in Spring Hill, right?
Yes.
34609?
Yes.
Okay. All right, how long have you lived there?
Since August.
Okay, how long have you lived in Hernando County?
For the past year and a half.
Do you have a job?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
I sell phones
Okay.
at AT&T.
Count number 1, I'm going to set at 2,500. Count number 2 at 500. We're going to see you back to court on these cases on February 6th at 9 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Ruby Workman.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Workman, can I have your date of birth?
1/10/1964.
Ms. Workman, you are here today charged with an aggravated battery. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public Defender's Office.
Provisionally appoint the public defender's office. State, does she have a prior record?
Yes, sir. It goes all the way back to 1996, starting more recently. There's a probation violation out of Pasco, 2015, on possession of meth. I see a criminal registration, paraphernalia, controlled substance. That's 2015, out of Pasco. See another reception center in 2013. Looks like it's on a probation violation of Pasco County. Additional methamphetamine and paraphernalia charges, 2012 out of Pasco. Other drug charges, 2012 felony level out of Pasco. 2010 felony charges out of Pasco, drug charges. And it continues with drug charges and violations of probation.
Okay. All right, Ms. Workman, I have an address here on Cobblestone Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
3 months.
How long have you lived in Hernando County?
3 years.
Do you have a job?
No, I'm on disability.
All right, I'm going to set your bond at $20,000. I'm going to order that you have no contact with Peggy O'Neill. I'm going to see you back to court on February 6th at 9 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
Teresa Brown?
Affidavit for a female named Ken. The last one. Brought her in here, so she's here.
I don't have it.
Okay, I'll let her.
Ms. Brown, can I have your date of birth?
1/28/86.
Okay. You are here today for a failure to appear in front of me on January 5th with regard to driving on a suspended driver's license. State the chief of
Yes,
record.
ma'am.
Yes, it looks like 2009 arrest. I see disposition for grand larceny, and then 2005 Fernando charges involving checks.
Okay. All right, ma'am, I'm showing the only reason your driver's license is suspended is because you need to pay off 2 tickets.
They're paid off.
No, you haven't paid the reinstatement fee on them. So they may be paid, but you didn't pay to reinstate them. So it costs about $50 each to reinstate those so that your driver's license will be cleared and you have a valid driver's license. So what I'm going to do, I need you to go out, get your valid driver's license, and come back to court. Let's see. This is my case, so we're going to do it on January 16th. Can you come back to court January 16th?
Okay.
With a valid driver's license. Okay, I'm going to ROR you today on this. You're going to come back to court on January 16th at 9 a.m. with a valid driver's license. If you don't show up to court, there'll be another warrant for your arrest, and you're not going to get bond that time. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, see you back to court then. I'm not going to appoint the public defender at this time. Tanya McFarland? Good morning, Ms. McFarland. Can I have your date of birth?
12/15/1985.
Okay. You are here for a charge of grand theft, less than $5,000, based on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt, I guess back in November, and then you were sent out a notice to appear for a court date on December 27th. I understand that you've been in custody in the Pinellas County Jail since November 28th.
Since November 25th, ma'am.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, I think you're entitled to a bond on this. So we're going to give you the $5,000 bond. We're going to see you back to court on February 6th at 9 a.m. Do you want the public defender to appoint you on this case?
Yes, I do. I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question, ma'am. I was already on bond, and they revoked it being that they said I had failure to appear. So are you giving me back that one? Or
No, I can't reinstate that bond. It's too late. But what I can do is I give you another bond for the $5,000 at this time. If you're unable to bond out, someone from the public defender's office will come out and see you. If you do bond out, you want to make sure to make your next court date, okay?
Thank you.
Oh, Judge, can we please have her under oath give us the correct spelling of her name?
Who has that? I think the paperwork. Ms. McFarland, what do you need the spelling for that?
Yes.
Can you come back up just for 1 second?
Yeah.
The state attorney just wants to confirm the spelling of your last name. Can you spell that on the record for me?
McFarlane.
Lane, F-L-A-N-E.
Yes, E, no D.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, did we get all the females?
No, ma'am.
Who do we have left?
I have a Nicole Davis.
Okay. Nicole Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Davis, can I have your date of birth?
5/14/84.
Does the clerk have a PC I can borrow on that? Okay, Ms. Davis, you are here this morning charged with uttering a forged check and forgery of a check. The bonds are $2,000 each. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Oh, defender's office.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State that you have a prior record.
Yes, Your Honor. I am showing a arrest for heroin out of Fort Lauderdale that was dropped. I'm seeing a probation violation for Fort Lauderdale 2015 on drug charges. A number of probation violation arrests, and then 2003, but it was charged with flight or escape out of Miami. Arrest.
Can I ask
Okay.
a question?
All right.
Ma'am?
Sure, go ahead.
Can I ask you? My father is elderly, and I have also have 2 other charges. The judge jumped the bond from 2,000 to 4,000 the last time I was here because I don't live here. Is there any way that you could possibly lower the bond for me so that way I can...
Ma'am, that's what we're doing today. That's why I need to ask my questions, okay? That's the whole purpose of
I'm
this
sorry.
hearing, is to figure out your bond.
She
Yes,
has
ma'am.
another felony case pending.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was here earlier this week. So I think it was the same type of charges.
Yes, but, and I think, didn't we,
We set that case was set for 2/6. They asked us to set this Merritt 2/6.
right, okay, yeah. This will be set for February 6th, and we appointed the public defender in that case as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll make sure the public defender is appointed in all of your cases. All of your cases are going to be February 6th. Is this one of the ones we previously RCO'd? Or no, we couldn't RCO because the dates didn't match up?
It looks like the dates. They said date of offense was, I see 1/3 and 1/6, and then the other one is 11/3. So
Okay, these are back in October. So what we're going to do is, I know you have some other cases pending. What we're going to do is keep the bonds on this case at $2,000 each. We're going to get all those cases brought up on February 6th. And your attorney, if appointed public defender, your attorney can do a motion to reduce the bond in front of the judge that has jurisdiction over this case, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Alexa Beam.
Judge, she does have 8 days in.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Beam. Can I have your date of birth?
2/28/92.
Okay. Ms. Beam, you're here today for a failure to appear on a petty theft case that you had, so I do find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office? Or did you previously have the public defender?
Ma'am?
Did you previously have the public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty. All right, yeah, she was arrested in Pasco County and then brought over here. Is the state...
I'm
okay
curious
with
if she doesn't have to answer, but I'm curious what happened on her petty theft in Pinellas.
Do you still have another pending case out there, or have you resolved everything?
I had a court date on the 8th in Pinellas, and I wasn't able to make it because I was incarcerated in Pasco County. So that's it. That's
So
all
still
I
pending.
have.
Okay.
Still out there.
Okay.
And I'm willing to turn myself in if I'm released.
Okay, well, you're...
Judge, she has 8
You're
days
in.
in, the state's willing to offer 10.
Okay. Ma'am, the state's willing to offer 10 days Hernando County Jail for you to resolve your case today. You want to go ahead and resolve it? And you have 8 days in already.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you understand that by taking a plea on this case today, you're giving up your right to go to trial?
That means 2 more days and I'm released, correct?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Giving up your right to go to trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Giving up your right to confront witnesses against you, call witnesses on your behalf, and you're giving up your right to have the state prove the case against you. You want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
With regard to this petty theft charge, how do you plead? You can plead no contest. Plead no contest?
No contest.
Yes, I accept your plea of no contest. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. Adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 10 days Hernando County Jail, 8 days credit for time served. You're going to have fines and court costs assessed against you in this case of $620. And I think she also has a public defender fee because she's previously appointed the public defender. And restitution.
It indicates she searched the backpack, but I can't tell if anything was taken.
We
Okay.
stipulate to reserve.
Okay,
sir.
we'll reserve restitution, so if there is any restitution on your case, the state's going to file an order ordering you to pay that. When you do get out of custody and finish working out all your cases, you want to make your way down to the clerk court here in Hernando County and make payment arrangements for what you owe. You're also going to have the cost of incarceration as well, okay?
And what do I owe again?
$620 in fines and court costs, the cost of incarceration, and the public defender fee.
Would she stipulate to a cap of $100? If it's as long as it's $100 or less, we could turn on an order if there was and reduce it to length.
Ms. Beam, what the state's talking about is the restitution. They don't know if the item was returned. They want to reserve. And what they'd like to do is cap it at a maximum of $100. So whatever it comes, if there's restitution less than $100, the order would simply be entered. Okay?
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay, what's their stipulate?
Okay. All right, that's it. Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, and ma'am, you have, that's all the females, right?
Yes,
Okay. You have Rolando Oropesa, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And he's here, Rolando Oropesa.
Good morning, Your Honor.
There he is.
Good morning,
Good morning,
Judge.
sir. Hold on. Can I have your date of birth, please?
My date of birth is 5/20/66.
5/2066. There it is. Okay. All right, ma'am.
Yeah, for the record, Judge, Haiti Oropesa.
Okay. Sir, you were here today for a violation of a domestic violence injunction. It's based on a warrant. It looks like signed by Judge Scaglione on July 7, 2017, stating that no bond until first appearance. I already have it.
Okay,
I have
you
it.
had it.
Yes, ma'am. I do my research.
Well,
Okay.
that's awesome.
She does.
Based on the violation of probation warrant and probable cause affidavit, they're stating that there was an injunction placed in that case limiting the contact that you are to have with Janelle Graven, and that you made phone calls and other types of contacts with her outside of the time allotted to have contact. So I did find probable cause for your arrest. I do show that you have a private attorney here with you today. And state to see for prior records.
It's not a conviction, Judge, but there was a 2011 arrest, Citrus County, for aggravated battery, and then a May 31st, 2013 arrest for felony battery or domestic battery of strangulation. Those were dropped.
Okay.
Your Honor, he resides usually like 7 months out of the year in Connecticut. He works out there. They were recently, him and Miss Graven, they were in court in this courthouse, Judge, on a, there was a dispute as to additional child support monies that were owed, and so he's been consistently paying child support. He appeared before a judge here, and additional monies were awarded, and he was given a date till March 9th to pay those, but he's been going to every other weekend to pick up the child that they have in common, my nephew, and everything's been going well since he's been back from Connecticut this past November.
Okay.
So I just wanted Your Honor to take that into consideration, Judge, in setting a bond.
Okay. So is he now living in Hernando County?
He is in Pasco, Judge.
Okay.
And I spoke to Miss Graven yesterday. There was he was supposed to pick up his son today at Hernando School where he attends.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's been running smoothly, and there's been no issues since this act. We didn't know about this.
Okay.
In fact, he was in this courthouse again, like I said, and that this was not brought up when they were addressing the child support monies extra that she was asking for.
Okay.
But he's been paying consistently his child support.
All right. Okay, what we're going to do at this time is I'll set the bond at $1,000. We're going to see him back to court on January 31st. It says 1:30, is that right? Doesn't sound right. Okay.
Your Honor, could you consider doing 500, Judge?
I mean, it doesn't...
I don't know how he is right now, because with the child support monies and everything.
I understand, but he does have, I would if he didn't have a lot of prior arrests, and if this isn't a July warrant, and we don't know, it's been quite some time.
But the allegation is for April, the calls, which were like right the next day after the
I understand, but the fact that he lives out of county, I understand he has private counsel, but he does still live out of county. He doesn't have, he's in Connecticut half the time. I need to make sure I can secure his appearance to court.
Okay, I understood, Your Honor. But I'm doing this pro bono.
I
He's my brother.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so keep it at 1,000 for right now. I just want to make sure that 1:30, 9 a.m. Okay, so it's January 31st at 9 a.m.
January 31st.
At 9 a.m. for an arraignment. Okay, hopefully you guys can work it out by then.
Judge, I know there's an injunction, but can I still ask for no contact?
I'm going to order no contact with Janelle Graven.
Very well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Ryan Allen? Hey, Mr. Allen, can I have your date of birth?
11/2/88.
All right. You were here this morning for exposure of sexual organs and disorderly intoxication. The bonds are $1,000 each. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender, please.
I'll provisionally appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State this to your prior record.
Yes, sir. In Florida, he has failure to appear of Citrus County 2017, a criminal mischief 2016 here in Hernando, a Pasco probation violation on a worthless check, and that charge, a failure to appear out of Tampa in 2011, and a Doyle's 2010 out of Sumter. But when we go to our out-of-state history, they're a little different to read, Judge. I believe it's Tennessee. I do see, going back to 2013, public intoxication, unlawful weapon and public intoxication, domestic assault, paraphernalia, violation of probation, domestic assault, public intoxication.
Okay. Mr. Allen, I have an address for on Tropical Drive in Wekiwachi. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
All my life.
All right. Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I do fiber optic cables.
Okay. Okay, considering in light of your prior record and that you have prior failure to appear for court, I'm going to set your bond at $3,000 each on each charge. We're going to see you back to court on January 31st at 9 a.m. If you can't bond out, someone from the public defender's office will come out and see you shortly. Matthew Bond.
So you're appointing them, Judge?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Mr. Bond, can I have your date of birth?
10/29/79.
You were here this morning for domestic battery. I did find probable cause for that. Do you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
All right. Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. States you have a prior record?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. In January 2015, I'm seeing an out-of-state fugitive warrant. I'm trying to determine what state. Possible Alabama, maybe. November 2010, domestic assault. Conspiracy to commit a controlled substance, 2015, and that's what I have to.
Okay. Sir, I have an address for you on Broad Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
2 years.
Do you have a job these days?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm an iron worker, welder.
All right. All right, I'm going to set your bond at $2,000, Mr. Bond, and we're going to hold you until 4 o'clock today. I'm holding you until 4 o'clock today in case Ms. Holland wants to file an injunction against you. If she does file that injunction against you, I want to make sure to read it carefully. It will be very specific as to how many feet you need to stay away from her, her home, or anywhere else that she may frequent. I'm going to order that you have no contact with Bonnie Holland whatsoever. Do not call her, do not write her, do not email her, do not have anyone else call her, write her, or email her. That means no contact even if she wants to have contact. If she calls you, you should hang up the phone. If you see her out somewhere, you should turn around and go the other way. If you do have contact with Ms. Holland while this case is pending, you could be arrested on another charge and held without bond until you resolve all of your cases. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're going to see you back to court on January 31st at 9 a.m.
Judge, one of the charges out of Alabama involved a possession of a weapon, concealed weapon without a permit. I would also ask for no firearms.
What is it? An injunction? What is it?
I just asked for no. It just indicated a possession charge in Alabama. I'm just asking for no possession of a weapon during the pendency of this case.
All right. I'm not going to order that at this time, but if you want to file a motion in front of Judge Schiffman, whose case it is, then he can so order it if he desires. Hunter Brewer. Hi, Mr. Brewer. Can I have your date of birth?
07/24/1999.
Alrighty. You are here today for a burglary of an unoccupied dwelling and possession of 2 counts of possession of controlled substance without a prescription.
Judge, we were thinking that since it was an abandoned housing complex, it may be.
Oh, you're saying that.
Yeah.
Didn't even ask me.
Well, I don't.
It's still.
I don't know whether it's abandoned or not, based on. I mean, that's what the defendant says, but I can't strictly go by that. Yes, sir.
If I may.
Oh, don't say anything about the facts of your case, okay? Is there something else you wanted to say?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do,
Judge, he does have a prior juvenile arrest for petty theft as well as burglary of unoccupied structure.
how old are you, 19?
That was
18, ma'am.
2016 when he got there.
No, I'm just saying, how old are you?
18.
You're 18, okay. I have an address for you on Rosewater Point in Homosassa. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
Past 4 years.
Okay. You live there with your parents?
No, me and my wife live there now. My parents
used to own the house, but now we took over
Gotcha.
the unit.
Okay. Get a job?
I worked for FEMA before this, but after I get out of here, I don't know if I still will have a job.
All right. How long have you lived at that address? You said 4 years, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. In the state, we just have that one juvenile case for the burglary.
We had 2 juvenile. The other was arrest for a battery. It was dropped. They may have gone to some kind of diversion.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what happened on the felony, but I just wanted to know at least the allegation was the same.
Gotcha.
Is this?
All right. I'm going to set your bond account one for the burglary at $5,000. I'm going to keep the other 2 counts the same at $2,000. We're going to see you back to court on February 6th at 9 a.m., okay? I'll appoint the public defender in your case. You want to make sure to reach out to them as soon as you can. Someone will be out to see you soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Justin Desmond? Mr. Desmond, can I have your date of birth?
6589.
Mr. Desmond, you are here for a grand theft, possession of a firearm by a felon, and dealing in stolen property. The bonds are $5,000, $10,000, $5,000. I did find probable cause for each of those charges. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender's office in each case. State.
Judge, I'm showing a June 2017 FTA out of Fernando, a May 2017 arrest on a FTA possession of third paraphernalia and violation of injunction. A criminal registration, December 2013 out of Marion County. A burglary, unoccupied dwelling. I think it may have been amended to an arrest on a dwelling in a structure, and grand theft. In 2012, that was in Fernando. A violation of probation on those same kind of charges. A criminal registration, July 2012, a failure to appear, January 2012 out of St. Petersburg. Defrauding a secondhand dealer arrest, but it was dropped.
Okay. All right, Mr. Desmond, I have an address for you on Masteda Lane in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Where's that?
Masteda Lane?
No.
Where you live?
No, we're in the process of moving from there. Sunshine Grove would be my address.
Okay, you need to make sure to update your address before you are able to bond out from jail, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived in Hernando County?
My entire life.
All right, do you have a job these days?
No. Ma'am.
Okay. Well, in light of your prior record and the amount, and in light of the fact that you failed to appear at prior court hearings, I'm going to double your bond on each of these cases. The grand theft will be $10,000, the possession of firearm by a felon will be $20,000, and then the dealing in stolen property will be $10,000. We're going to see you back to court on all of these cases on February 6th at 9 a.m. Everett Dix III.
The judge just said the court's
Yes,
order.
ma'am.
It was a remand, so he does have 15 days.
Okay.
I don't know what the status of the driver's license.
Sir, what is your date of birth?
1371, ma'am.
Okay. You are here this morning for driving a suspended driver's license. It looks like you failed to appear in front of Judge Hitzman on December 20th.
I was incarcerated, ma'am.
Okay. And is there an offer on his case, Steve?
I think the underlying
Driving
ASA
record
had recommended 30 days,
Oh, really?
but I don't know. I know he has a terrible record.
Terrible.
That probably isn't mine.
1, 2, 3, 4 prior driving suspended. Okay, sir, the state's willing to offer you 30 days Hernando County Jail. If you want to resolve this case today, they'll give you credit for any time that you have in. What did you say that was, Dave?
15 days.
But you have 15 days in. Is that something you want to go ahead and take care of today?
Yes, I would like to take care of that today. I also have like 7 days that they arrested me in citrus on. That'll be added on to that too, right?
Was the 15 days including that?
The 15 days includes the Hernanda, only in Hernanda. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not
Well, I
sure
have
what.
time where they arrested me on my warrant in citrus. I was like 7 days that I waited for them to come get me.
Okay.
That would add right on to
Let me see if I can
the
pull something
15,
from
right?
citrus.
Well, sir, that's what we're trying to figure out. If you give us a second to do that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I think he got another Willis there. He's resolved his charges as well as drug charges.
Okay.
All right, while the state's figuring that out, I'm going to ask you some questions. You want to
Yes,
take
ma'am.
care of this case today. You understand that that means that you're not going to trial?
Yes, ma'am.
You're giving up your right to confront witnesses against you, call witnesses on your behalf, and you're giving up your right to have the state prove the case against you. You want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, with regard to the driving on suspended driver's license, how do you plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest, ma'am.
Accept your plea of no contest. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. Adjudicate you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to 30 days for Hernando County Jail. We're figuring out your time served, but you're going to be charged fines and court costs in the amount of $438, and you're also going to have the cost of incarceration assessed against you.
Yes, ma'am.
He was in there and he was arrested on.
Ma'am, I was arrested.
So hold on,
citrus
1 second.
He was arrested on the 4th of
Okay.
January. I don't see what day they released him, but he was in there on the 4th. They transferred Mr. Dix to here?
Yes, he came straight from Citrus to Hernando, right?
Okay,
Yes,
let's
ma'am.
see what we've got.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and give you 22 days credit for time served, okay? When
Thank
you get
you.
out, you want to make arrangements with the clerk's office to pay all of those things.
Yes, ma'am.
Jonathan Goodwin? Mr. Goodwin, can I have your date of birth?
5/26/88.
All right. You are here today for a violation of probation out of Polk County. I did find there's probable cause for your arrest. Polk County wants no bond on your violation of probation at this time, so we're going to hold you no bond until Polk County can come pick you up. They're going to come pick you up within 5 days. If they don't come pick you up within that 5 days, they'll bring you back in front of me and we'll figure out what the holdup is, okay?
Okay.
Michael Hyde? Mr. Hyde, what's your date of birth?
4/12/1987.
All right. You are here today for a driving on suspended driver's license. I did find probable cause for your arrest.
I see a note, he might be on felony probation.
Are you on felony probation somewhere?
No, ma'am.
All right. We've got 2 prior driving on suspended. Okay. Do you want to make an offer for him to resolve his case today, or if there's no offer, there's no offer?
Do you have his Willis record? He doesn't have a very good regular
Okay.
number
Yeah,
of prisons.
I do. He's got a 2006 DUI, but it looks like the requirements were met, and his driver's license reinstated after that in 2007. He's got another DUI in 2007. His driver's license was suspended for 5 years after that. It was reinstated in 2015. His driver's license was reinstated in 2017 after he paid some tickets, but now it's suspended for failure to pay financial obligations in a felony case, 2016 CF 665, failure to pay financial obligations in 2013 CF 1073, and failure to have the appropriate insurance. He's got 3
So it's-
prior driving on suspended driver's license.
So it's not for any kind of new drug suspension or
Right.
anything, it's just financial?
Right
Yeah,
now,
it's
it's
a-
financial.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been work.
Wait,
works
don't
and
say
stuff.
anything about the facts of your case, okay?
Okay, so
My recommendation today would be 30 days.
Okay, you want to resolve it today? The state will give you 30 days and give you credit for any time that you have in. You want to take care of that today?
is that the least that they'll do is 30 days?
That's what their offer is today. It's up to you. If not, you can come back to court on January 31st. All right, we'll go ahead and set your bond at $500. We'll appoint the public defender's office. We'll see you back to court on January 31st. It would really help you out if you came back to court with a valid driver's license on that day, okay?
Okay.
Philip Lawhorn.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Lawhorn, can I have your date of birth?
11/05/1987.
You were here this morning for resisting an officer with violence. The bond is $5,000. Possession of marijuana, the bond is $1,000. And possession of paraphernalia, the bond is $1,000. I did find probable cause for all of those. Do you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
I would like a public defender.
A provision for the public defender's office to represent you. I'm going to ask the state attorney about your prior record.
I'm showing in
Yes, ma'am.
2013 a Pasco VOP, criminal registration in February of 2013, a 2012 probation violation out of Pasco, 2012 Fernando probation violation, Pasco 2011 possession of controlled substance, I believe it's oxycodone, withhold a criminal registration 2011 out of Pasco, and then a 2009 shoplifting, retail theft, resisting a merchant here in Fernando County.
Sir, I have an address for you on Landover Boulevard in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
No, Your Honor. As a matter of fact, I am at also 13155 Haverhill Drive in Sterling Hills in Spring Hill, Florida 34609. That was my girlfriend earlier that was picked up with me.
How long have you lived at that address?
We have both lived at the same address for the same amount of time, but I believe it's been about 4 months now.
Do you have a job?
Yes, Your Honor. I teach drum lessons at a local, privately owned Christian music shop, and I'm trying to get back to work and back to my son. I have a 10-year-old. I was trying to see if my bail could be reduced at all, ma'am.
That's what you are all here this morning for, okay?
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. They're resisting an officer with violence. I'm going to keep that at $5,000. For the possession of marijuana, I'll set that at $500, and the possession of paraphernalia, I'll set that at $500. We're going to see you back to court on February 6th at 9 a.m., okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nathan McKee. Mr. McKee, can I have your date of birth?
3/24/84.
You are here this morning for a new charge of driving on suspended and then a failure to appear on driving suspended in front of me on January 5th. The bonds are currently $1,000 on the new charge and $500 on the bond for the failure to appear. I did find probable cause for your arrest on each charge. Do you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
Provision appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm going to give you a bond on the new charge. I'm going to keep that at $1,000. On 2017 CT 3499, I'm going to file a recommitment order on you on that case because you were out free on the driving suspended driver's license and you committed another one. or there's probable cause to believe that you committed another one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you back in front of my docket on January 16th on both of these cases at 9 a.m. to see if we can resolve your cases on that day, okay?
Okay.
Keith Maxit.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Can I have your date of birth, sir?
August 29th, 1967.
You were here today for a violation of probation. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender, please.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. There's no bond on that violation of probation.
No,
warrant.
I have. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I have a son that's got Down syndrome, and I'm his caretaker, and
Okay.
he's at home, and I need to get to him to take care of him. He's got no other medical. I'm asking for a bond so that I can bond out, and please, he's got no other.
Okay, I can't give you a bond on this case because Judge Merritt signed a warrant indicating that he wanted no bond on that.
Is there a way that
Listen to me. For
Okay,
a
I'm
failure
sorry.
to report and a violation of community control on that case. So I'm not going to give you a bond on that case. What I'm going to do is I can move up your court date. You need to let me finish. If you're
I'm
talking,
sorry.
you're not listening to me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to help you. You're not letting me.
Thank you.
What I can do is move up your court date to January 23rd.
Can I get it before that?
No. I'm going to move up your court date to January 23rd. That hopefully we'll have enough time for your attorney to get a hold of the documents on your case and see if there's a way they can resolve it or at least set a bond in your case. Someone from the public defender's office come out and see you as soon as possible to talk to you about that, okay?
Thank you.
James Obermeyer?
And 123 is mayor, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Obermeyer, can I have your date of birth?
9/16/66.
Okay, Mr. Obermeyer, you're here today for a violation of probation on a driving unsuspended driver's license. What I'm going to do on your case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. There's no bond on that warrant, so I'm going to hold you no bond. But what I'm going to do is, can we have him appear on Judge Hickson's in custody docket today at 11 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to put you on Judge Hickson's docket today at 11 o'clock so that he can figure out what to do with you. Do you have the public defender already on that case?
No, there was one supposed to be appointed now.
Okay. So we'll make sure that the public defender's office knows that you're appearing today at 11 o'clock so they have time to review your file before then, okay?
Thank you.
Michael Shipton? Mr. Shipton, can I have your date of birth?
9/21/90.
You were here this morning for a retail theft. The bond is currently $500. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State.
Yes, Your Honor. Probation violation 2016 out of Hernando County. 2016 Hernando County arrest for aggravated stalking. There was a misdemeanor conviction of violation of an injunction. 2016 Hernando violation injunction conviction. 2015 Hernando petty theft conviction. 2015 Hernando violation injunction conviction. 2012 Hernando arrest for burglary that was dropped. Dealing in stolen property 2012 was dropped. Trespassing 2011 Hernando no disposition.
Is there an offer for him to take care of his case today?
It'd be 30 days, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, if you want to resolve your case today, it'd be 30 days. Hernando County Jail will give you credit for the 2 days that you have in. If you don't want to resolve your case today, we'll keep the bond and see you back to court on January 31st. Which would you like to do?
It would be to the charge of petty theft instead of retail theft.
January 31st.
Okay. I'm going to set the bond at $1,000. We're going to see you back January 31st at 9 a.m., okay?
Alright.
Clayton Tallman? Mr. Tallman, can I have your date of birth?
2/1/87.
You were here today charged with failure to appear in front of me on November 29th. The bond amount on a possession of paraphernalia, the bond amount is $1,000. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Did you previously have the public defender representing you?
I have no idea.
Okay. Right, can you tell me?
I'm not showing that he did, Judge. He has a withhold petty theft 2008, adjudication as well as 2012, resisting withhold 2010, and adjudication of paraphernalia 2016, adjudication of petty theft 2016. He has an open, or at least when this was generated, an open Pasco, larceny, battery, cannabis, paraphernalia, and resisting.
Okay. Is there an offer for him to resolve it today?
30 days.
Okay. Sir, if you wanted to resolve your case today, it'd be 30 days from the Anthem County Jail at your credit for any time that you have in. Or we can set the bond and have you come back to court on another day. What would you like to do?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right. So we'll keep the bond at $1,000. I'm going to put you back on my docket. We'll see you back to court on January 18th, okay?
This is for a ticket that I got.
Yep, it's for a ticket for, you got a notice to appear. It's not necessarily called a ticket. A notice to appear for possession of paraphernalia. And you failed to appear for court, so we had to have you arrested to get you back into our custody. So that's why you were in custody. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you so that they can sit down with you and more clearly explain what's going on. And we'll see you back to court on January 18th at 9 a.m., okay? Travis Thurston?
That was which parent's office?
Present, ma'am.
Mr. Thurston, can I have your date of birth?
07/04/1981.
You are here today for a violation of probation out of Pasco County on a possession of cocaine, possession of meth. You did find probable cause for your arrest. We're going to hold you here until Pasco County comes to get you. They should come to get you within 5 days. It usually does not take that long from Pasco County. But if for some reason they do not get you within the 5 days, they'll bring you back in front of me so we can figure out what the holdup is. When you get to Pasco County, you can ask for a court date and a public defender when you get there, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Kyle Weaver? Mr. Weaver, can I have your date of birth?
01/14/87.
All right. You are here for a failure to appear out of Citrus County, and Judge Uriman signed a warrant for an FTA with a $2,000 bond. There is probable cause for your arrest. Are you going to want the public defender to represent you on that case?
Please.
Okay. We'll appoint the public defender here today, but you might have to request the public defender again when you get to Citrus County. Citrus County, if you don't bond out, will come get you within the next 5 days. If you do bond out, you want to make sure to make your way down to Citrus County and find out when your next court date is, okay? We're going to keep the bond at $2,000. Okay? Jeremiah Reardon? Mr. Reardon, can I have your date of birth?
October 31st, 1981.
You are here today for knowingly driving where your license is suspended or revoked and a grand theft. I did find probable cause for both of those. Did you previously have the public defender representing you on other cases?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. Do you want the public defender's office?
I was recently
I'm sorry?
I was recently released on that driving license suspended.
I don't know what you mean by released, but
I think these are upman's. So.
Oh, okay. Initially, you were charged with a misdemeanor, and now it looks like you're charged with a felony. And the open case, 2017 CF 2467,
That's
is that already an RCO in that case?
It said the date of offense is 11/13.
I'm sure
So
it's already revoked on that case? All right. So on the felony case that you have, do you have a public defender?
No.
Do you have a private attorney?
No.
You're representing yourself?
No, I don't want to represent myself.
All right. Clerk, what are you showing?
I was
for
released on that.
No. Clerk, what are you showing for 2017 CF 2467?
you'll have to.
I will.
Was on the PD back on January 2nd on the
Okay. All right. You were previously appointed the public defender on your felony case, okay? So we're going to make sure you have a public defender on all of these cases. Your bond has already been revoked on the felony case, so you can't bond out. You're entitled to a bond on these cases. The knowingly driving while license suspended or revoked, I'll set the bond at $10,000. We'll see you back to court on February 8th at 9 o'clock.
$10,000 bond for driving with license suspended?
I mean, sir, does it matter? You have no bond in another case.
No, I guess it doesn't really matter, but
Okay.
just when I was in court last time and they released me on that charge.
Great. Well, the judge is asking for no bond on your driving on suspended driver's license case. I feel like you're entitled to bond, and that's why I'm going to set it at $10,000. You also have a grand theft here. If I have probable cause for that, I'll appoint the public defender's office. I'm going to set that bond at $10,000, and we'll see you back on February 8th at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Merritt on all cases.
I think they were asking if we could please do 2-6 arraignment.
All right, I have clerk's notes indicating 2-8. But you don't want
Probably
2-8?
his other case is probably set.
His case is
Everything's
2-8.
set for 2-8.
Do they want
They usually track them all together. They can
Okay.
hang them on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Everything's going to be on February 8th, okay? Someone from the public defender's office will come and see you soon.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Did we get everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Practically got everyone in the jail. All right. Have a good day.
Yes, we
Thank you.
had it.